Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
We are still two of us today. Mike's still under the weather, unfortunately. He's picked up the bug that everyone else has got in the UK at the moment.
Been a bit going around, hasn't there?
If Patreon's your thing, check out the link in the description below. Loads of stuff on there, starting for a bargain price of just
£1.50 a month.
Check it out if it's for you. Yeah. These are the 10 major crimes solved by accident.
I can't think of any really off the top of my head, I must admit, but I'm guessing, there's a bit of luck somewhere along the line.
I think a lot of times there's a little bit of luck or a mistake made by somebody.
Maybe a big, could be.
Let's get into it.
But then I looked down on the floor of his car and there's a bottle, a tab bottle. So I'm like, well, if he tries to do anything to me, I'm just gonna hit him with this bottle.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're diving into some major crimes where the culprits weren't caught through elaborate investigations, but rather by accident, coincidence, or sheer dumb luck.
A man was spotted in his VW Bug, acting suspiciously.
Aileen Wuornos' murders, often referred to as America's first female serial killer.
That was the one, what's the South African lady called, actress? Was it called Monster? Something like the movie? Was the movie called something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Aileen Wuornos was convicted of killing 6 men between 1989 and 1990. But it wasn't until January 1991 that she was eventually arrested. What played a big role in this? A car crash.
Turn around and Tyria was going just a little bit too fast. She went off the road, the car turned on its passenger side and slid.
One of Wuornos' victims, Peter Seams, disappeared, and soon after, his car turned up after being involved in a crash. The women seen fleeing the scene, Wuornos and her girlfriend, Tyria Moore.
The biggest piece of evidence in that case was we had eyewitnesses that seen these 2 females leaving the scene of that crash.
The police found Wuornos' fingerprints from inside the car and on pawn shop receipts used to sell the victims' belongings. This gave them hard evidence to tie Wuornos to one of the victims. Just like that, the accident broke open the case, and the rest is history.
On January the 27th, 1992, Aileen Wuornos was found guilty of the murder of Richard Mallory.
Oklahoma City bombing.
A massive car bomb exploded outside of a large federal building in downtown Oklahoma City.
Timothy McVeigh, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In 1995, Timothy McVeigh set off a massive truck bomb outside a government building, killing 168 people and injuring hundreds more. He was caught surprisingly quickly, thanks to luck and a cop's sharp instincts. Just 90 minutes after the attack, Trooper Charlie Hanger pulled him over. The reason? McVeigh was driving without a license plate. Instincts told Hanger something was off, and when he searched further, he noticed he was carrying a concealed weapon without permit.
Trooper Hanger says it's a miracle he was even in a position to see that missing tag.
It's mad how small things can get sort of like people caught who are up to no good. And it's you think if you were going to do something major like McVeigh did, and it was something major, it was something that changed the whole world, the way that we do things in the world.
Massively, yeah.
But if you're doing things like that, you'd think you'd have a tag on your car.
So a lot of them do seem to be like car involved as well, don't they? Obviously, easy to say because 2 of them have already, but you think at least make sure your car's legal because you could just get pulled up at any time, can't you?
You just don't want to get pulled over. You want to get out the area.
Absolutely,
and not get pulled over. Madness, that.
Was enough to arrest him on the spot. At the time, no one knew he was the bomber, and he could have been released the next day. But while McVeigh sat in jail, investigators linked eyewitness reports and a rented truck to him, sealing his fate.
McVeigh is specifically charged with having delivered the bomb to the Murr building in a truck that he rented under a false name.
Chicago mass murder. John Wayne Gacy lived a double life, respected in society, yet hiding a horrifying secret. Beneath his house, he buried the bodies of young men he'd murdered for years. No one knew.
By the end of 1977, Gacy had killed 19 young men in his home, all the while carefully maintaining his double life.
His downfall began in December 1978 after the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Piest. Gacy was the last person seen with him, placing him firmly on police radar. A search uncovered some suspicious items in his home, raising doubts, so investigators kept a close watch on Gacy. Instead of laying low, Gacy befriended the cops, even inviting them into his house. One night, everything unraveled when an officer noticed a foul stench while using Gacy's bathroom.
When one of the officers smelled a foul odor coming from the air vents, investigators were all but convinced that the crawl space below had become Gacy's makeshift burial ground.
Madness.
A second search followed, then police uncovered human remains, and Gacy was locked up for good.
On March 13,
the police in.
1980,
I know, yeah.
Gacy was found guilty
The
and
absolute
sentenced to
audacity.
death.
String of murders in New York. Joel Rifkin is another chilling example of how one mistake exposed a killer's heinous acts. Between 1989 and 1993, Rifkin preyed on vulnerable people, often sex workers, murdering at least 17 of them. He kept his crimes hidden for years, dumping bodies in rivers, woods, and alongside the highway. But in June 1993, his crime came to light in the most unexpected way, through a traffic stop.
He just kept driving, and that's when I initiated the pursuit.
Police troopers had attempted to stop him from missing a license plate when he fled, only to crash into a pole. Approaching the car, the officers noticed a strong stench, and on conducting a search, found the body of Rifkin's latest victim, Tiffany Bresciani.
That's when I noticed stench.
He was arrested and convicted for her murder, and later pleaded guilty to others.
We'd ask him, how many have you done before? You seem like you've done this before. And he said 17.
The Son of Sam murders. David Berkowitz terrorized New York from 1975 to 1977, shooting couples in parks and sending taunting letters to the police. His crimes led to one of the city's biggest manhunts,
spreading panic across the city that never sleeps.
What finally brought him down wasn't a dramatic chase or even advanced forensics. It was a simple parking ticket. After his last shootings, local resident Cecilia Davis reported seeing a man loitering near a car that had been ticketed close to the crime scene. The car was traced to Berkowitz, who was already on the police radar.
And sure enough, there were 4 summonses given out. One of them to a David Berkowitz.
A search on his vehicle uncovered a gun, maps of the crime scenes, and a note linking Berkowitz to the shootings. That's how a small detail brought down one of New York's most notorious killers.
There's no question that Berkowitz would have gone on.
The Lyon sisters' murder. For decades, the disappearance of Sheila and Catherine Lyon haunted Maryland. They were last seen in March 1975, leaving a shopping center in Wheaton.
Don't know this one.
Sparking a long, fruitless search. For 38 years, no one knew what had become of them, until investigators reopened the case in 2013. A police officer had noticed a composite drawing looked very similar to Lloyd Lee Welch, who was serving time for unrelated crimes.
His 1977 mugshot resembles this suspect's sketch.
During questioning, Welch revealed information only a person directly involved would know, like horrific details of what happens to the girls.
Holy shit.
His shifting
Incredible.
stories and incriminating accounts
Picks up from a picture like that.
I know, yeah.
He was guilty. With further evidence tying him to the murders, Welch was finally convicted in 2017.
Wow, wait.
Remember him.
The Weepy-Voiced Killer case.
Dear me.
Sometimes all it takes is one slip-up and it's game over for a killer who probably thought he'd never be caught. That was the case for Paul Michael Stefani, better known as the Weepy-Voiced Killer. In the early 1980s, Stefani terrorized Minnesota, murdering women. Then he'd go ahead and phone the police in a sobbing, remorseful voice, begging them to stop him.
Please don't talk, just listen. I'm sorry, I killed that girl.
For years, the call baffled investigators, until August 1982, when the killer attacked 19-year-old Denise Williams. She fought back, leaving his face severely injured.
That's when I just grabbed the bottle and I just hit him in the head.
When a passerby rushed to help, Stefani fled home, bleeding, and later called for medical help. That very mistake exposed him. Then further investigations, along with his confessions, tied him to 3 murders.
In short order, police connect the dots between the attack on Denise Williams and Stefani's injuries.
Dennis Nilsen's killings.
A civil servant whose extraordinary behavior would see him named with cruel irony, the kindly killer.
Right where he lived, in his 2 North London flats, Dennis Nilsen lured men whom he often murdered in brutally disturbing ways. Afterward, he dismembered their bodies, burning and burying the remains in his garden and other parts of his home. However, when he moved to an apartment without outdoor access, he began disposing of body parts down the lavatory and drains. That decision led to his downfall. The pipes got clogged, leading to complaints from neighbors about foul smells and backed-up drains. When a plumber investigated in February 1983, he discovered flesh-like substance and bone fragments in the pipes.
He discovered that what was blocking the toilets was actually human flesh.
Police were called, traced the drainage back to Nilsen's apartment, and upon entering, noticed a stench of death. Soon after, Nilsen was arrested.
On the 9th of February, blocked drains would lead to his discovery and arrest.
The Yorkshire murders. For nearly 6 years, Peter Sutcliffe evaded capture, even though the police had interviewed him several times.
Incredible.
During that period,
Yeah,
he prowled northern England, murdering women and attacking others.
Detectives were at a loss, and the Yorkshire Ripper was still at large.
By the time he was caught, Sutcliffe had killed 13 women and attempted to murder 7 more. So what brought him down? Not an elaborate sting operation, but almost pure chance. In January 1981, Sutcliffe was pulled over by police in Sheffield while driving with a woman, his potential victim. The car had false plate numbers, immediately raising suspicions.
And discovered that the number plates did not tally with the vehicle. That rang alarm bells.
Sutcliffe was arrested, and on a hunch, the arresting officer returned to the scene. There, he discovered the weapons the killer had hidden nearby. Confronted with this discovery, Sutcliffe admitted he was the Yorkshire Ripper.
Sutcliffe knew he was caught, and it was then he said, "I know what you're leading up to. It's me, I'm the Ripper."
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest
Another car one.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone...
I think with Sutcliffe, though, I think they were breathing heavily down his neck.
Do you think so?
They'd interviewed him a couple of times, released him, but I think he was still prime
on
suspect.
the radar sort of thing, so...
Told the story before. He was the one that's seen in the cemetery after he just put the body in. What you know now, what you know then, right? I know, right?
Make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Ted Bundy's murders. A sadistic murderer, Ted Bundy didn't just lure women with charm, he sometimes broke into their homes to strike as they slept. His reign of terror continued even after a traffic stop led to his arrest for burglary suspicions in 1975.
An off-duty Utah State police officer saw him prowling around a neighborhood in the Volkswagen, stopped him, they charged him with possession of burglary tools.
Subsequent investigations linked him to aggravated kidnapping, which he was convicted for in 1976. But Bundy was cunning, escaping custody not once, but twice, vanishing into the night and escaping to Florida. There, he committed some of his most infamous crimes, including the Chi Omega sorority murders. His luck finally ran out in 1978, when a routine traffic stop for a stolen car turned into a chase.
A shot was fired, missed the person, but he was taken in custody.
Tackled by an officer, Bundy was finally caught, and investigators unmasked the monster.
Ted Bundy was in custody again, but his capture would spell just the beginning of an extraordinary 11-year circus.
What other major crimes have been solved by accident?
Yeah, I mean, it's mad how many of them have been made into films.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But people love like real life stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a bit macabre, but yeah, I mean, one of them was like 38 years, wasn't it, or something?
Oh, it was
the one where he killed like the 2 girls.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like kind of like 38 years after.
Yeah, but I'm talking serial killers.
Yeah,
when you get when you get like you Ted Bundy's of the world, and Peter Sutcliffe's, and
because
people like that.
People like that, they just go on forever. If they didn't get caught, they just keep going on and on and on and on. So there's a lot of luck involved there, aren't there, in some of it anyway.
Yeah, but you just see that, like you say, it's a lot of the car ones, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so I suppose they don't have a legal car because if it's in their name, it's traceable to them, isn't it? So I'm guessing they're trying to fly under the radar to a certain extent.
But you're not flying under the radar with no tag on your car.
No tag at all. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's something that sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it?
Cops definitely going to pull you over for that.
Yeah, absolutely no brainer. They're not going to just let that one go, are they? No chance. Yeah. I mean, I guess in those days they didn't have ANPR, especially in the 70s and 80s, so it would have been a bit more difficult. If it had a plate, then they probably, unless they had the big suspicions, they probably might not run it. But
it's mad nowadays with ANPR over here as well. I don't know how big it is. I know some people have told me in the USA it's quite quite
prevalent over there, is it?
Yeah, around the different areas. But over here they use it for chasing. So what they do is they say it's just hit another thing and it's on the M1 or the wherever it is, and they know exactly where the cars are and which way it's heading and all that kind of stuff.
Picks it up all the time, doesn't it? They even do it in like supermarkets now as well, don't they? So they always have it as well. So
can't park anywhere now. We don't get a charge. We got a ticket the other day.
It's just
it's annoying.
It's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, you just can't park anywhere.
Absolutely incredible. It's big business, though, isn't it? It's huge business, but And honestly, there's some luck gone on there, I tell you. But it's probably saved a lot of lives as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because, like I say, most of those killers would have just kept going on and on.
Yeah, especially people like Berkowitz and people like that. They know our Son of Sam.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yorkshire Ripper, people like that. They wouldn't have stopped, would they? They just kept going on. So
madness. Yeah, enjoyed that, though. Hope you guys did as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.